Good morning, everybody. It's a time of artificial intelligence globally happening. And we cannot keep pace with the development of artificial intelligence for, as I recently heard, it doubles in power every year in the absence of innovation. If you add innovation to it, it's like a quadruple exponential curve. In other words, we can comprehend how quick this goes. And what this might lead to is that things that are handmade and made by human beings increase in value because the world is already alienating. The human-made world is alienating. We are living in worlds made of concrete and steel, metal and plastic, which is alienating to the human mind and body. And we are living with this civilization diseases for this reason, because we feel like we are not fitting in this environment. We are meant to live in an environment of materials that we intuitively can understand using our senses. We are meant to live in a world of real materials where when we break the material off, we see what is inside and it is the same thing. In our world, when we break off the wall of a house or something, in many cases, it's not inside what we think is inside. In other words, it's highly complex structures. And this can also create a feeling of unsafety because, again, in comparison, natural materials like stone, clay, wood, and other natural materials that we understand intuitively. And when we know that these are real, that is the real natural stuff, and it is arranged in a harmonious way that radiates safety and stability, it gives us a deeper sense of security and being part of this, because we are part of nature and nature is part of us, but all of this connection is destroyed with the modern world, and artificial intelligence is just the next step of that, right? Um, so I feel like it's time to make not more, maybe more videos, but it's important to make the videos as a human being, not using artificial intelligence to lay any filters over the faces or make these strange cuts when the person's always, there's these AI programs and they cut out the unnecessary materials, like making micro cuts in the video, and then the viewer gets accustomed that there's always these small little interruptions, you know what I'm saying? These little videos, but AI will get better and better, to the point where I could feed an artificial intelligence a script that I have made using an artificial intelligence and then create a video that you cannot distinguish from this video. And that is scary. What I want to say is, we human beings are at a point where most art, most work, most effort is being devalued to zero. And there is other things that we have to focus on, and that is originality, creativity, and imperfection. There is the Japanese principle called Wabi-Sabi that describes this beauty that can result from manufacture, from real work from a human being. We will have perfect products in the future where each product looks exactly like the other, And this is okay if it's about, everyday life. But I tell you what the difference is. If you are working outside, cutting wood, you can use a perfectly um, assembled laser cut hatchet to do this. This is a tool that you can use and it will do the job. But if you have a hand forged hatchet where you see each strike of the hammer in the metal, you have a wooden handle that has a character, this item is something you can relate to. And it is with everything, whether it's the smaller things or the bigger things. Handmade things tell a story, have a character, have like identity, and we are surrounded by things without identity. Guess what? The result is people without identity. So, what I want to say is, I think we need to appreciate the imperfections in people, to let things go slow, to appreciate human effort. And this is something that nobody else will do for us, okay? If we give in to this influence from the outside, I mean, the influence from the outside is people in power who have money and use artificial intelligence. And they do this to basically make money by creating goods and services and powers they can give to us. But all of this will take away everything of us, our work, our purpose, and solve all our problems. And this is our purpose. Our purpose is to solve the problems ourselves, right? So, um, what I what I want to say is that we need to guard this and find graceful ways to preserve this, to preserve the struggle and the restriction. When we have AI, there's many dystopian futures that we could describe. Like the elite has, of course, a ruling AI because they don't want to give it away. There is literally um, a company in the Silicon Valley called Palantir who uses artificial intelligence to sell it to everyone to find solutions for everything. Um, so it means that the strongest AI will have dominance over other AIs, just like in Lord of the Rings, the One Ring. So normal human beings will be supplied with the basic version of ChatGPT, but there will be an elite who always has a kind of a super AI that can control all other AIs. Therefore, there is a great structure of dependence, and we human beings ultimately need air, water, food, sunlight, love, and this is things AI cannot give to us. We need to maintain this connection. We need to maintain our natural pride. I'm not talking about this false pridefulness of grandiosity. I mean a natural pride of being like living beings that are limited, very limited. Um, so we need, what I wanted to say is when we have these everybody has an artificial intelligence. Everybody can do everything at any time. And it feels like you're a god when you're prompting the AI and it gives you an absolute grandiose result. But the problem with this is the connection with the problem with this is, oh, I made a mistake. Isn't it a sign of that I'm a real human being? Yeah. Imagine we will have to make weird things in a video. Maybe they will develop a code that will, so human beings will try to develop a code of doing weird and imperfect things just to prove that they are human beings, and then the AI videos will copy the code and make it even better than we, so that we can't anymore distinguish whether it's really a human being. That would be crazy, wouldn't it? However, um, the problem with having the freedom to create everything with a tool like AI that now gets even agency, which means the AI can use all plugins and everything that is on your mobile phone or on your computer, means um, it can create finished products, do many steps, create sub goals, and so on. It means you have unlimited possibility and no restrictions. But to create purpose and happiness and substance in the life of a human being, we need to have a restriction in order to make a choice. We need to have pressure. We need to have problems that we are allowed to solve ourselves in order to make use of our biological programs that we are adapted to use. Okay? Yeah, and AI creates this illusion that it takes away everything from us and this will make us happy. All right, so I repeat, restriction is very important. There is no choice without restriction. There is no life without pressure, without even threat and problems. Okay? Life needs problems. Life needs pressure. Life needs restrictions. That's where it starts to thrive. Yeah, and I don't want to go into the different ways of dystopias that we can draw, that AI can lead to. That would be too much for this video, but it's just important that we guard our humanhood, I would say, right? And not let it be devalued by artificial intelligence. And what will rise in value in a interesting, magical, ironic way is physical work, especially physical work that is not efficient, will rise in work. People who take time to do things, people who know their craft, people who see more in a product than just the quick satisfaction of a desire of a customer, these things will rise in value. Yeah. Yet I also think that it will lead nowhere to say back in the days everything was better. Reactionistic or romantic thinking is in some way immature, and the looking back to an idealized state of reality is never healthy, I think. It's just that we need to understand that there is something valuable to preserve and not give up. and blindly rush into the dependency of something that we don't even understand or are able to reproduce ourselves. We can't build this tool ourselves. This tool is given to us, handed to us.